Jenni Carlson here with Kyle Fredrickson. We're in Stillwater, where Texas has defeated Oklahoma State 28-7. And Kyle, unfortunately, it's become a refrain that has become all too familiar and all too uncomfortable for the Cowboys and their fans. An offense that's just not able to get going, and a defense that couldn't quite hold up. It started really early, especially with the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same old story with every week, it seems now. And Gundy has talked about the same things leading to the Cowboys' demise. A young offensive line can't handle the physicality. It has a trickle-down effect on the rest of the offense, and then the defense is on the field too much. I mean, that's exactly what we saw tonight, and it's exactly what we've seen all year. I mean, once again, the stats, I mean, that's just not with this Cowboy offense, what we're used to. I mean, we're talking about 34 rushing yards, 2 of 13 on third down. And there was moments where the Cowboys were able to connect on some deep passes. They were able to get that tempo. I think a lot of that led to the James Washington touchdown that we saw in the second half. But by that time, Texas had already built that lead. And like you said, this is an OSU team that just can't dig itself out of a hole. And it was especially tough tonight, being senior night. For a lot of these guys, it's their last time playing at OSU. And this was a successful class. These are guys who were underclassmen during that Fiesta Bowl year. So you got to figure that adds into it as well.
Well, yeah, and, when you turn around 2 possessions into the game, OSU has -6 yards on offense, and Texas already has 2 touchdowns. It feels like, as you say, a hole that they couldn't crawl out of. And frankly, at this point, fans are getting frustrated. The numbers were down today as far as attendance goes. So what's the mood in the locker room? You had a chance to talk to several of these guys about the emotions right now running through these guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans aren't really happy with how calm Mike Gundy and the rest of this team has been through this stretch. I mean, when you're getting beat this badly and with the history of success they've had in this program, you expect a little bit of rah-rah. You expect these guys to get upset, but that's just not the case. And when you talk to those guys in that locker room, obviously they're frustrated, they're disappointed, but at the same time, pointing fingers at each other and using that kind of anger probably isn't the way that they're going to dig themselves out of this. There's a lot of young players who are still learning on the fly. So definitely a lot of emotion running through those guys, that this wasn't how they wanted to send their seniors out. And it only gets tougher from here as the Cowboys travel to Waco and travel to OU, still searching for that 6th win, but that just doesn't really seem like a possibility at this point.
Well, let's talk about that lastly. What can be salvaged at this point? I mean, obviously this team could get bowl eligible if it scores a huge upset on the road, either in Waco or Norman, but realistically that doesn't seem likely. So what are the silver linings? What are the positives that could potentially come out of these last 2 weeks? I
mean, you're just getting more experience for a young unit, and Mike Gundy talks about getting stronger and getting that experience. But the thing is, that's kind of what you want to happen in the offseason. That's not what you want to have happen when you're going to Baylor, when you're going to an OU, when you're playing some of these top-tier teams. So when we're looking for silver linings, it's just more experience for these guys, more practice reps. They're going on the road in big-time environments. These are young guys who are going to be back next year. The more experience they can have, the better in those areas. But, I mean, as of right now, you just hope that these young guys can stay level-headed because it definitely does not get any easier from here.
All right. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.